Well, good day to you guys. It is kind of a cloudy day here in Plainview, so today, guys, we're going to be taking a look at the descriptive essay. The descriptive essay, guys, gives the physical characteristics of a person, place, or object, and it uses the 5 senses. It may not use all of the 5 senses, but it's going to use some of them. And many times, typically, this description is going to follow a pattern. Top to bottom, side to side, clockwise, counterclockwise, things like that. And there's 2 different kinds of descriptive essays. There's an objective and subjective, and this goes to another page, but I'm going to let you guys take a look at that later on. The objective description focuses on the description without your personal reactions to that description. In other words, this is a precise, literal picture of your subject. You can use numbers, inches, feet, pounds, things like that, because you're talking about, say, measuring something. Because in the objective, subjective, this particular page, guys, it talks about a kitchen table. And one of the objective description actually measures the kitchen table. I think it is like 72 inches long, I think it is. So in the objective, you're measuring things, you're giving a more precise description, say, of colors, maybe shades, things like that. So you're giving a more particular description of the object. It is a bit more precise in that context. And this is an example of an objective description, and it describes the Globe Theatre in London. Now, guys, in contrast to the objective, you have what is the subjective description. And the subjective description is non-literal. And what is interesting, I say here, is that it puts the reader at the kitchen table. And in fact, the subjective objective PDF up here, guys, in fact talks about this kitchen table, and the subjective description actually puts you, the reader, at the kitchen table. And this piece here, guys, gives an example of the Mississippi River as a subjective description. And this conveys your personal response about your description. It's going to give your impressions about a particular person, place, thing, whatever it is you're talking about. And so, guys, we're talking about one way to look at your essay here is to think of your descriptive paper as a guided tour. Now, that's a really good metaphor to use, because this paper, is it actually a guided tour? Well, not really. It's a metaphoric use of a descriptive essay. And so, guys, in just a few minutes, guys, we're going to take a look at some examples of some humorous examples of some things to describe. And first off, you're going to pick a topic. And it doesn't have to be from this topics list. Guys, you can describe just about anything. Some things, guys, are going to be easier to describe than, say, other things. You can describe, say, a park, for example, and that would be one way you can, one thing you can describe. You can even describe a swing on at a park. So there's a lot of things you can describe. Like, for example, you guys in Plainview might describe, say, Kidsville, for example, as I figure you guys have been there a number of times. And the length here, guys, is about approaching 2 pages. Let's say maybe a page and a half is going to be a good length for it. Pick a topic that grabs your attention. And I'm going to skip this thing about the idea for the moment, because I want to get to this thing right here about the notes here. Some of your paragraphs may be rather short because of this. When we're doing a descriptive essay, say for example you are describing your house, each particular room. When you're describing, say, your living room may be a big area, it may be a big place to describe. However, your bedrooms may not be, there may not be much to describe in the bedroom. So in other words, your bedroom paragraphs may not be all that long. Your paragraph about your living room may be the biggest paragraph. And to think about it, guys, that's only logical. If there's more stuff in your living room, okay, you're going to describe what's in your living room. There may not be that much stuff in a bedroom, so you're not going to be describing as much. So some of your paragraphs may be rather short, some of them may be a bit longer. And to you guys, what is interesting about the descriptive essay is that as opposed to, say, your narrative essay, it had a main idea in it. Like the Jeff and Trudy example, it had a main idea. This paper, guys, is different in that the whole paper would serve as the main idea. It's the one textbook says it's a dominant impression. And so the next thing is, guys, is about transitions. Now, depending on how you work your transitions, if you are describing just your living room, you may say to the right or to the left. It's like this. When you're describing your living room, you're going to start at some particular point. You're going to start with a frame of reference. In other words, it may start with to the right, to the left, or around the corner, above this, beneath that. And these guys are all going to serve as transitions to move from one part, for example, of your living room. And that would serve as your transitions. Okay, now I'm going to back up here for just a moment about this idea here. I got this idea a while back, say 2, maybe 3, maybe a few years ago, when I was listening to KFYO out of Lubbock. And they started talking about something about garage doors. And I thought, this sounds like an interesting way to do a descriptive essay. And so, guys, I want to jump over here to Google Images. And I am going to show you something here. These are, oops, let me see. Okay, I'm going to do this really quick. I want to show you guys an example of what I am talking about in terms of description. And one of these days this page is going to open up. Well, there we are. Okay. This is from Amazon. Okay. And we have to wait for this thing to completely load. Okay. Yeah. One of these days. Okay, there we are. Okay, now guys, this is a, I think this is a cover. I'm not sure if it's a cover or not. I'm not sure. Hey, oh, this is nice. Now guys, this is a neat little feature here. I just discovered this. But notice the kinds of things in this on this garage door. And I think, guys, this is actually a cover or actually painted on a garage door. Now think about this, guys. We could start by saying, say, guys, by looking at this thing. I'm gonna, yeah. You see over here, well, it's going to hard to get the mouse to work right. But notice to the left, you have a triangular pile of colored rolls to the left. So you could say, to the left of this garage door, you have a triangular pile about 1.5 feet tall that contains a number of colored rolls of something there. And there's various colors there. On the wall, there is some kind of a painting, or with lots of there's lots of blue, purplish. There is some goldish in it, I think. And this picture is in the center of the left wall, and it's about 4 or 5 feet tall by about 4 or 5 feet wide. Next, on the back wall, you have a door that's closer to the left-hand side of the left-hand side of the door, left-hand side of the back. It is white. It opens from the left, and a few feet from that door to the right, you have you have 3 storage containers, 3 storage shelves, and these things have there are 4 shelves on each one of these separate shelves, and they have a variety of boxes, brown boxes in most cases. In the far right hand one, you have a number of pails or buckets. One is red, one is black, looks like. In front of these shelves, you have, looks like 6 dogs. And these dogs have various shapes, various sizes, various different kinds of dogs. One is a poodle, and it's standing up more like a person would. And there's I guess that's a bulldog that's in front of the poodle. You have another dog that's toward the back, and it's I can't tell what kind it is, but it's mostly white and has some black and brown splotches on it. You have another dog to the right of that one that's lying on its back and has 3 of its feet or paws up in the air. In front of that dog, there's another one. It's a smaller dog, and it's kind of in an unusual position, in that it's kind of like doing sort of like push-ups, kind of like that. Directly in front of all the other dogs is another dog that's brown, standing on hind feet, and it has its front paws spread out horizontally, and the dog's back is to the viewer. And on the floor of the garage door, in fact, all the dogs are on mats of various colors. And on the right-hand side, you have, I'm guessing those must be mats there, but you have mats that are actually standing upright. So guys, this gives you a kind of description of this particular garage door. And you notice, guys, how I use different transitions to illustrate different parts of that garage door. So guys, you can see how description works with this. So, and I'm going to do this. So, that's a descriptive essay.